Get me further into the sewer before stopping to recoup. Even if the rabbits can't get through the bars, we don't have any desire to draw their attention further. So I lean on Genzo's shoulder, wonder the length of the giant concrete conduit, careful to avoid the shallow creek of black mire bisecting its base. It eventually widens, opening up into a larger square aqueduct built around a standing basin of water. Clean, surprisingly, at least from what I can tell. Past it is a pipe after a giant pipe pumping out more and more of the same miasmatic muck from the river. It lurches and slops as it spews from the pipe and into the channel below, where it forks off into another system of ducts that siphons it out of the castle. It's here that we finally pause to collect our breath and our wits. Yes, it seems to be originating from here then. Yeah, well, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. Kitchen muses as their gaze flicks around this chamber. I stop to watch the acidic sludge ooze and weep through the troughs. Radioactive shit wasn't on my bingo card for the post-mortified Orlum, but hey, he did have some pretty fucked up eating habits. I'm not so sure this is excrement. Yeah. I mean, you could have just had a night out at Taco Bell or something. Who knows? Pipes are everywhere, jutting out from the walls, protruding from the ceiling, bubbling up from the ground. All of them churning out more and more of this stuff, following it out of the castle and into the river, the lake, waterways beyond. Seems to be through every inch of the place, and constantly frothing poison surging within the walls. Oh, we get another choice. Well, again with the same as the other choices that I made. We'll go back to these two when we go on their respective character endings, so this one we're going to stick by yourself. Both shaken and shaky. The pain in my wrist has turned into a dull throb that travels up the entire length of my arm. Gozo helps me gently onto the lip of the basin. Sit there quietly for a moment before beginning to wash my arm. Last thing I want is to be a bother to anyone. My own ineptitude that led to what happened. If only been faster. And cut that corner. If I were stronger. If I were... Once there's a tendril of pain shoots its way up my arm. Blood is gone now, but the jagged gash through its skin is all still there. Looming up at me like a reddened maw. Turn back around to see Genzo and Gidget staring at me. Only they both look quickly away. I feel my cheeks burn just a bit in shame. I start tearing off a chunk of my shirt to wrap my arm in, though finally redirect their focus elsewhere, fan our environs, in search of a way forward. Pull the fabric tight with a grimace. It won't do much good. Already newly seeped blood is colouring the blue a dark purple. But it's better than nothing. I refuse to let myself slow us down any further. Gidget grunts and points their finger towards the ceiling by the far wall. That some kind of door? Seems like it. Jesus. How are we gonna get up there though? Especially with... Then turn back to look at me. Tentacle looks of concern knowing their brows, which I respond with a harried wave of my hands. I'll be fine, really. Even I know it's forced. Give ourselves another 10 minutes or so to ensure we're good and ready before making the climb. Despite my trepidation at what lies on the other side, can't deny my desire to get out of the damp sewerway. Teeth are starting to chatter as we start facing the first of the raised platforms. Genzo's brows twist and worry. Lips are turning fucking blue eggs. Just a little cold is all. At my bare arms. Clothes aren't exactly suited for this kind of environment. Cold water I washed my arm with certainly hadn't helped. Come on, we'll get out of here soon. Gadget gestures before pulling themselves up on the platform, offering an arm out, first to me, then to Genzo. And the three of us are making our way skyward. Aside from the slick veil of slime covering everything, no particularly difficult climb. But we take it slow all the same, not keen on any more errors in judgment before we even made it inside. At the top, Gidget gives the mossy handholds a moment of scrutiny. We're saying, the hell with it, launching ourselves upward. Hold me, will ya? They grunt beneath their breath. Genzo grabs hold of the leg to keep them from falling backwards, though as they begin pushing and prodding at the square-shaped door overhead. It's stuck. Breathy huff, followed by another grunt. It's one elongated as they push their hand against the grimy surface of the door. A grinding noise, crack of stone on stone. And slowly, ever so slowly, it begins to move. Got it! Keep pushing it! Just a bit further. Gidget lets out a bark of exertion. I see the muscles of the arm trembling as they heave the heavy stone block up and out of the way. Slides with a heavy groan. Thick globs of muck squishing up between the cracks as it gives way. Gidget simply gazes up at their handiwork for a moment, wiping the sweat at their brow. Then refines their grip on the handholds and pulls the stuff up through the newly opened hole. Come on, I hear them say before they disappear into the void. Genzo shoots me a shrug, one barrel arcs, then climbs up after them. I threw one last glance into the clammy murk of the aqueduct before following suit. We emerge in a world of blackness, complete and utter darkness, to the point that I can't even see my hand in front of my face. Clear to my left makes me jump. That's followed by a string of four-letter words and a grumble of expiration from Genzo. It's roll of turd nuggets. I like that name. These real turd nuggets not pay his electricity bill or what? Here Genzo pushed himself back up to his feet with a groan. At least it wasn't me falling over this time. Gidget's voice comes from a short distance away. We seem to be in some sort of storage room. Is there a light or something? I tried reaching out, only to promptly knock a handful of cans off a nearby shelf. Something reckon makes my heart leap into my chest for the second time. I'm looking. Maybe he got tired of looking at himself in the mirror and turned off the lights. Found it. A click. Uh-oh. Then a second click. Rapid fire a series of clicks. On, off, on, off. Okay. I was about to say, oh god, what monstrosity is going to be locked away in this room, but guess we won't get to see that. Probably for the best. The room remains shrouded in spine-chilling obscurity. The light doesn't work. Brilliant deduction. Try for the door. Can at least get out of wherever this is. More clumsy searching. Try for the left, only to promptly wipe my head on the corner of a box. And here Gidget and Genzo having similar luck on the other side. A thud, followed by a rattle. Last room curses from Genzo. God fuck this fucking hellhole of a fuckhouse. Then the sound of a door clicking. Ah! A creak. Gidget pulls the door open. Ah! Flashbang! The three of us are bathed in moonlight. For just a moment, we can do nothing but stand there, staring out past the doorframe. Gidget places a hesitant step forward, and another, walking slowly and silently out into the hall. Okay, we good? The rest of the castle is dark as the storage room. No lights, no candles, none of the sparkling chandeliers I recall from my memories. Large windows allow giant swaths of moonlight to coat the walls like buttered milk. casting everything in vivid contrast and sending long, jagged shadows across the marble floors. It's quiet. Deathly quiet. Save for the soft pitter-patter of rain starting to dot the window panes. Rumble of thunder in the distance makes my already queasy stomach twist in anxious nausea. Don't tell me. I've been down here watching an interview with a vampire on repeat. Genzo's voice shudders despite his factitious remark. Certainly an understanding omniscience to this place. Where is everyone, though? The rabbits, the nobles. They step back into the gloom, watching as the shadows curl into different patterns behind me. Genzo holds a hand to his mouth as though stage whispering. I think they were E-E-A-T-E. We don't know that. Come on. No point standing around here in the dark. Genzo readjusts their pants with a huff, takes off down the hall. Fall into Foster's step behind them. Hair on my arm standing up like caterpillar fur. As behind us, Genzo takes one last look towards the windows, slowly building rain before jogging after us. Footsteps echo off the walls as we walk, shadows jumping with our every step. It's surreal. Everything's so deathly quiet around us. I stare up at the soaring pillars and haunting ceilings. I can still picture them in their heyday, glowing with gold and reds as rabbit attendants shuffled about in their cleaning. Now, however, a visceral sense of melancholy seems to coat the walls, dripping down onto our shoes. Outside, the rain is picking up. Occasional flash of lightning illuminates our surroundings in shuttered flickers that reveal the decrepit state of things. Overturned furniture, paintings, mirrors, and other chandeliers laying cracked against the wall, shattered across a tile. Wallpaper ripped and scratched and boasting of colour stains that make my stomach twist. Passed by an especially large portrait of Orlum in all his regal glory, wanting gaudy velvet and surrounded by all assortment of expensive-looking fineries. This one is still on the wall, but with a brilliant flash from the window, you can see it's no less spoiled. 3 giant slashes have been hacked across its painted surface, bits of the canvas dangling to reveal the frame beneath. Genzo whistles beneath his breath. Guess someone wasn't happy with that one. Down to thunderclap punctuate his quip. Winston stepped just a bit closer to the others. Still no sign of him, though. His castle is ridiculously large. Genzo grimaces, staring off into the dark. Not even sure where to... his room. Genzo and Genzo turn to look at me, faces coloured in surprise. Turn my own gaze downward, rubbing sheepishly at the back of my neck. I mean, if I had to guess, is all. And almost as an afterthought, I can probably take us there. Both just stare at me for a moment. Genzo steps back, arm outstretched as though inviting me forward. Lead the way, then. Stumble forward awkwardly, not used to taking point, but try to bury my abashment, at least temporarily. Why can't I never say that word properly? Temporarily, there. That's the best you'll get. So I can focus on the task at hand. Things may look different for sure, but it's an awful lot darker. But I walked these halls many times. Can navigate us through them now. Got us out of the current corridor and to the left, down a wider passage lined with shattered chandeliers, cracked tile from a once grand mosaic that had lined the ceiling. As I glance up at it, my mind flicks instantly back. Me stopping one evening to stare up at after a particularly filling dinner. Almost slinking up beside me, as he often did, arms around my waist while he gouts the tale of its history. King's Reception, he had called it, casing his triumphant arrival in Wonderland, and the reverence with which he had been first crowned. Now, however, pieces of his once proud moment lay battered and broken on the ground. I bite down on my lips so hard I could taste blood. I continue my forward trek all the same. Another boom of thunder, so loud this time it shakes the walls. God, I hate this so much. Clench my eyes shut, and then back open. Focus, Icky. Everything is fine. You're fine. Take us around the next corner to the right, following a route of memories dancing through my head. And at the next junction, Hawaii winds out into a large entryway, leaving a stairwell standing at its center. Start the steps without a word. You certainly seem to know where you're going, Gibson muses behind me. I assume this is some kind of pointed statement, and I'm supposed to respond with an explanation for my knowledge, but the combination of shame and uneasy nostalgia keeps my mouth glued shut. More and more memories come filtering back across the forefront of my mind, further up the stairs we climb. I glance up towards the landing. I expect Orland to be standing there. Anthony teases me about something I said, something I'd done, or I had reacted to one of the nobles at dinner that night. There's nothing, no one there. Just unending darkness. When I step out onto the upper level and glance back, Genzo and Gedja are just eyeing me curiously. We're almost there, so I say. Then renew my origin slog. Final corridor sears my mind like an electric poker. Yes, didn't mean to skip past that. Yes, I walked down this one many, many times. Now there's something foreboding about it. An incessant dull film of misery settling over everything like a heavy cloud. The further we walk, the worse it gets. What the fuck? His voice gives my heart a jump. I turn to see him gesturing at the walls. There. Covered. Thick, sloppy red stains spackle the surface like an abstract painting. Dark, dry clots punctuate the chaos like lumps of coal. And beneath everything, crayon-like scribbles run jagged lines up and down the entire surface of the plaster. Well, let's just stand there for a moment, gaze flicking across the grotesque creation. Was that we don't know that back in the hall, Gidge? Even Gidge looks uneasy now. It's pressed together tightly, and the shoulders rigid. I hope perhaps influenced by my optimism. Time feels like it's twisting into tens of thousands of tiny knots. Up ahead, see some of the waxy crayon scribbles escape the wall, continue on across the marble floor, zigzagging their way towards the door at the end of the hall. The door. Door I can still see as fresh and vivid in my memories as though it were yesterday. Swallow hard, spit getting stuck in my throat, but push forward towards that door. Whatever it is that awaits beyond. The handle seems to buzz beneath my fingertips. A strange sort of electricity passed between the metal and my dizzying thoughts. I pause, hesitant. Then my fingers wrap around the round surface, sticky against my palm, and pull. Door creaks open. Strangely tinny in the silent corridor. The three of us walk inside. Oh god, I'm bracing for this. Oh god, what are we gonna find? Air crackles. Sense of unrealness tangible in the shadows. It's dark. Deathly dark. Only light from the row of tall windows along the far wall, now bare of the scarlet curtains they once boasted. The skin feels alive, electric, cocoa crackles creeping up my arms and legs, on the back of my neck. For a moment, I could do nothing but stand there. Stand there in the shadows closing around me. Then another thunderclap. Fills the room like a roar of a mighty beast. Walls trembling, windows rattle in their frames, hidden eyes quaking in the darkness. For a second, the room becomes saturated with a blinding luminescence. A brilliant camera flash that imprints on my vision. Okay, I don't like the creepy music. I'm not entirely sure what I'm looking at here. I'm guessing it's all of them. My dear friends. It's been so long. Apologies. I would have made myself more presentable had I been informed of your visit. Well, at least they still look human. My men have gone a bit lax at keeping me abreast on the goings-on beyond these walls. He looks awful. At least normal-ish. Even in the dim light of the moon from the windows, I can see the gaunt grooves of his cheeks. Darkened circles outlining his eyes. Grayish-green tint of his skin. Your men? Kinsley takes a step forward, eyes sharp. You mean the homicidal were-rubbers prowling this place like long-eared bats out of hell? Long crosses his arms, nonplussed. They do get a bit testy sometimes. And wiggled his finger matter-of-factly in the air. Nothing a little treat can assuage. I'll show you a little treat. But Gidget cuts in before Kinsley can start his tirade. What the hell is going on here, Orlon? The castle, the rabbits, the state of this place? Orlon brings a hand to his chest in faint shock. You're implying there's something wrong? Spins around with a flourish, lackadaisically smile playing on his lips. I mean, it might take some getting used to, but it has its charm when she learned to see it. Charm? Kinsley snorts. You're the Grim Reaper, maybe. Orlon smiles wide, tilts his head with a strange little sway. And he had almost begun to miss your irreverent witticisms. We were worried about you. Words come tumbling out of my mouth before I can stop them. When Orlon flicks his gaze towards me curiously, then my eyes drop. I mean, just it's all a bit concerning, and with all of us remembering now, I'm not sure how I what, Iggy? Orlon asks with an impish grin. How I handled it? I laugh. Saunters over, a slight lip colouring his steps. And pulls my chin under his finger. Yes, all those memories rushing back. It was quite overwhelming, wasn't it? Many shared moments, shared words, pain. A tingling sensation of death finally claiming our consciousness, and sweet release again and again and again. Leans forward, it's practically touching my ear. It's out a heady sigh that dances across my skin. It was excruciating. Get your hands off him! Kenzo grabs Orland's wrist and jerks away. I think he's about to find out that how long time we spent with Orland. Just makes Orland hum beneath his breath in amusement. Leans towards Genzo instead. Ah, yes. No need to hide it anymore, is there? There's everything now. Oh, woe begone pinning from afar. Oh, the sweet sorrow of love's unbidden yearnings. Feels forward in an over-embellished stagger, forcing Genzo to take a step back. Genzo snorts and tries to pull away. Yes. But Orland isn't done yet. Time sidestepping behind Genzo. Hands on his shoulders, up to his hair. Or up in his hair. Fusing against Genzo's back as he presses his face against his hairline. I imagine some of those memories were a lot. Dances his finger up the zipper against his jacket. For you. Genzo's eyes tighten as he pulls back with a scowl. The fuck would you know? The tremble in his voice betrays his apprehension. Oh, I think I know a lot. The grin. After all, I did get so many delightful tastes. He pauses. Looks around to Genzo's other side as he gazes rises towards me. As did someone else. Ooh, right, because we had to continue on with that arc. We did have to kind of eat Genzo. I forgot about that. Oh, Genzo is not going to be happy. Heart jumps. Like shooting out through my chest with a stifling jolt. I take a small step back. Genzo blinks. Looks up at me. What's that supposed to mean? Yeah, about that. Orland finally pulls away, smile morphing once again into amused disbelief. Oh my, they don't know? He tuts in the back of his throat. And here I assumed everything had been laid out on the table by this point. What is he talking about, Iggy? Get it this time. I can't say it. How am I supposed to say it? Drop my gaze, clasping and unclasping my hands again and again. Just feels like it's in a vice. You can feel the heat building behind my eyes. Yes, what is he talking about? Orland staunches behind me, or towards me this time. Suddenly desperately wish the floor would open up and swallow me whole. It's nothing, I finally eke out. Nothing? Orland leans back, hands on his hips. I'm hurt, Iggy. After all that time we spent together. I don't really remember everything, swallow hard, my voice trembling. The memories are a little bit fuzzy. This makes Orland's grin curl even wider. Sada was up next to me, fingers climbing up my front before tugging teasingly at my collar. Memories weren't the only things fuzzy between us, as I remember. Jack backwards, face flushed. But it's too late. Tears are building up in my eyes. I really did those things. Fuck. Shame sears my cheeks. I bring my hand up to my head, fingers clenching at my curls. Fuck. The people I'd hurt. Atrocities I committed. Turn to look at Genzo, who's just staring at me wide-eyed. It's twisted my heart further, forcing the tears down my cheeks. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Press my palms into my eyes so hard my head pounds. Sorry? Sorry for what? Orland laughs. Arms played and branded. Yeah, that word. We had a glorious road together, you and I. What a little world for us to command. So Genzo engages eyes on me, boring into me. It just makes her fingers twist tighter. Sweet little Iggy, always blubbering on about wanting to make people happy, while practically sings. When in reality, he's just as selfish and corruptible as the rest of them. Rattling thunderclap shakes the wall. Then it grows silent. Silent except for the sound of the pouring rain. Stifled sniffling and trembling. Next to me, Genzo coughs, clears his throat. So, you did some fucked up things, yeah? You know what? Who the fuck cares? Indeed, so if any one of us, the rest of us hasn't done worse. Fair point. I blink, on my arms. Part of me questioning my hearing as another part of me begins to unclench itself. It's assumed at this point that this place fucks with your brain, Genzo laughs. Who says we need to hold Ig to some higher standard just because he normally has the gumption of a sun-dried peanut? Sorry for forgiving me for my acts. I myself deem unforgivable. Yeah, the stuff he did to poor Iggy. Genzo's jaw goes tight. Why would I not forgive him for his own misstep into malignity? Or any of us for that matter. That's the way out of this, isn't it? Rising above our mistakes to fix what we've broken? Alan just stares at us, his grin unwavering. Lowers his arms, cocks his head to the side. How positively touching. I managed to say, voice still choking with phlegm, because I need to do something. I need to say something. Something to fix this. Fix him. Come with us. Gonna put a stop to all this. And then, because I don't know what else to do, I extend my hand. See my fingers trembling in the darkness. I'm really in a flash of lightning from the window. Yeah, I get the feeling it's not going to be that easy. Owen takes a step back, then another. Cocks his head to the other side. Then starts to laugh. Tiny trill of a giggle that reverberates on the base of his throat. Look at you three. So precious. Laughter spilling from his lips now. If you love each other so much, why don't you all just marry each other already? Brings his hands to his cheeks, shoulders shaking in mirth. Fuck, we're here, aren't we? To get you, Genzo growls. Despite how hard you fucking made it for us, we can put all this behind us. Another peal of laughter. Oh, I'm glad all of you came. Forgive each other for your Wonderland transgressions. My suffering started long before that. He does kind of have a point. No one needed to plunge into moral depravity to hate me, to abuse me. Sharp crackle of thunder punctuates his diatribe. Oh, no one hates you. You're just... Genzo goes stumbling forward before I can finish. We're trying to help you, you dumb ungrateful fuck. Yanks Olin by the collar with a shake. Olin seems to find this absolutely hilarious. Oh, look at you. Being so forceful. He doesn't even try to pull away, head rocking back and forth limply beneath Genzo's grip on his shirt. Have to show everyone that you're a big, strong man, is that it? How's that worked out for you, Has the night finally bettered the view? Genzo's eyes go livid, and I see his grip tighten further still. Oh, but the tables turned now, haven't they? Would you like to hear about it? All our delightful time together? How he felt next to me in bed, Sound he make when I run my hands through his hair? A laugh, high-pitched and shrill in the back of his throat. How does it feel, knowing that no matter how hard you try, no matter how close you get to that idolized version of manhood in your head, you'll never get as close to him as I have. Genzo's fingers are shaking now, tears springing to the corners of his eyes. Shut up! Olam's eyes are already glaring with untapped mirth. So angry. Are you going to hurt me? That's all you ever do, you know. Hurt people. Slowly festering disease that eats people from the inside out. Shut up! Don't you see? Olam's eyes widen in growing excitement. Wonderland didn't need to turn you into a monster. You already were one. Heart clenching in panic, I start forward. Guys, Genzo's roar cuts me off. Pushes Olam away with a stronger cry. Olam goes tumbling backwards, landing with a slap on the floor. It goes silent again. Silence save the near-audible physical tension crackling in the air. Genzo? I whisper. And Olam. Olam was laughing again. Harder this time. Giant belly laugh as he curls in on himself, feet kicking in delight. See, nothing's changed. Tears are streaming down his face. Nothing's fucking changed. Something in the air seems to shift. Chill sweeps past my feet, past my cheeks, sending a trembling shiver up my spine. Uh-oh. Here we go. What's he gonna transform into? Almost stumbles, lurches to his feet, still shaking with laughter, entire body coursing with it. Except for one thing. Swipes his bangs to the side with a jerk of his hand, head and shoulders rocking backwards like a broken doll, and starts unbuttoning his shirt. Uh-oh, what's he been hiding from us? Because, you see, it doesn't matter anymore. Nothing you say can hurt me. Not anymore. That's when you see it. Long, jagged incision splitting the upper left corner of his chest. The deep, ugly cleft. Slices of flesh pink and oozing in bits of yellowish pus. Staples puncturing its length at erratic intervals, making the surrounding skin pucker. I can't feel. Or laughter, force of making his bangs bounce against his cheeks. Anything anymore. Olam? Start, eyes trembling in their sockets. What did you do to yourself? Stumbles forward, nearly stumbling to the ground before righting himself with a delighted squeal. Three of us take a step backwards, unable to look away. Do to myself? He hunches forward, pupils shrinking to the size of pinpricks, as he grins curls impossibly wide. I made myself into a god, Iggy. Another cascade of laughter shakes his frame in heaving jolts. Nothing can hurt me anymore. All those memories of pain and suffering, they mean nothing to me. I can live my life in glorious and anesthetized apathy. What the fuck? And Genzo looks horrified, color draining from his face. Olam takes another step towards us, then another. It's unnatural the way he pitches and weaves, like some kind of undead creature rising from the ground. You know, I was just going to let you go on your way. growl, but not from Orlum, from above. Low pitched snarl that ebbs out the dark and curls the hair upwards on the back of my neck. What do I care about your little mawkish journey of gallantry after all? Then another, and another. Left, right, left. Further back in the room, shrouded in shadow, but approaching, closer and closer. But now you got me reminiscing again. All those dearly beloved memories we shared. Our uproar's camaraderie. Orlum? I start. Words get stuck in my throat. Gunther backs up into me, body ramrod stiff. All three of us are just staring. Yes, how could I let you just leave after this touching reunion? Orlum raises his hand, bony wrist bent backwards at a surreal angle, and thumb and middle finger pressed together. After all, I do so love when we all hang out. He snaps his fingers. In that instant, the room goes bright. Lights flicker on, one after another, illumining the space, illuminating the... Sucking my breath, eyes nearly popping out of my skull. There are so many of them. Bring my hand to my mouth as my stomach lurches. Bodies. Flayed bits of gaunt defilery, hanging from meat hooks looped around chains and manacles. Carcasses with bones and tissues exposed. And is dangling like sausage links at butchers. Hanging from the ceiling, from the walls, the bedposts, so many of them. Probably for the best that we can't actually see that, but I tried checking and for whatever reason this is the only one that is pixelated. Even though I do have censored mode off, so I don't know why. But yeah, as I said, it's probably for the best, because there's a lot of, yeah, by the looks of it, there's a lot of body parts and other bits and giblets. Milk cages housing half-eaten corpses, scarce strewn over furniture. And rabbits. So many fucking rabbits. Lying amongst the gore, now smeared with it. Spittle hissing around their teeth. Growls rise as they start towards us, low and crouched as they slink through the carnage. Orlum, buddy? Maybe we got this whole thing started off on the wrong foot? Kenzie attempts a smile, hands wavering in front of him. What happened to all that vaguelossery bravado now? Kenzie snaps backwards nearly trips. Pathetic. Can't even threaten the guy properly. Orm's eyes flash. Grin curving. I see Ginsla's eyes widen in faint recognition. You were pathetic then. You're pathetic now. Wanna know why I despise you? Because you're a pathetic excuse for a human being. Drive everyone away. That's why everyone avoided you after the accident. That's why nobody cared that you almost flunked out. Why your dad left you and your mum to fend for yourselves. Because you're pathetic. Self-centered. Arsehole. Giz's face is white at this point. His eyes strained, his pupils shaking, his brow sunken. Orlum raises his hand a second time, pats with his middle finger and thumb kissing. And I don't need you in my life anymore. Snap. Next second, the rabbits leap. They move like lightning. A moment sitting on their haunches, and necks like dizzying flashes of blood and fur and claws streaking through the air. Run! Gidget snaps us out from our stupor. And I twist immediately on my heels, ram my elbow into the door and shoving it open. 3 of us go flying. Out through the door, careening down the hall. Our steps clambering cacophony echoing off the walls. The door slam again and again behind us. More and more rabbits sailing through it, forcing themselves at the tail and screaming after us. Must go faster, must go faster. Can barely hear, barely think. Shoes slip and slide on the shiny marble underfoot. I pitch forward, barely able to control myself. Feet racing as fast as my heart. Flash next to me. Then, rabbit lands on the tile in front of us. Nearly jump, throwing myself to the side and sending both Genzo and Gidget with me. Turn, turn, turn! And we bank right, around the corner. The stairs. Fuck, the stairs. There's nowhere else to go, so we scramble towards them. Screams and shrieks behind us. Harry scampering of furrowed feet on marble. Make it about 5 stairs in my tragic gallop. I probably miss a step, feet flying out from under me. Flying down on my rear end, bumps and cracks and thuds on my legs, my arms, my tailbone. Everything feels like it's happening all around me and all at once. My bones scream at me. Sharp whack on my shin, bringing tears to my eyes. Guttural thwack against my ribs takes the air out of me. Make it to the bottom and go rolling out across the landing, all spinning around me. Genzo is quick to follow, sliding across the floor with a grunt. Gidget is the only one still on their feet, shouting at us from the bottom step with a frenzy to wave their arms. Try to find the... A robot flies past them, carrying off their favorite instructions and nearly sending them back usward onto the floor. Rabbits coming straight towards me. But with a startled cry, someone managed to roll out of the way, just in time to watch it go sailing past. Sharp cracks on the stairs. Rabbits are jumping down the railing, leaping off the landing. Shit. But I spy Genzo back on his feet and waving us down the opposite hallway. Gidget doesn't waste a moment. Despite my bungling, I don't either, making myself back to my feet with a groan of effort and taking off after them. Then we're running again, down hall after hall. Here clattering behind us. Glass breaking, wood snapping, breathy growls that feel like they're right on the back of my neck. Turn right, then right again. Racing aimlessly in the dark, my only goal to get away from those things. To find a sewer entrance, something, anything. Even in daylight, we'd never been able to find our way back, let alone in pitch blackness, while running pell-mell round curve after curve. My lungs strained from the effort, already spent legs quickly numbing. Sheer adrenaline is all that's keeping me moving at this point. Not sure how much of it I have left. We approach a fork, path splitting into 2 identical darkened corridors. Go left, I hear Gidget bark. Before I had the chance to question why, they're stopped in front of us. Genzo and I no choice but to take an abrupt left. Go diving into the black hallway. My head slams sharply against the wall, making my vision dance. I still managed to look up in time to see Gidget take a stance in the center of the junction, jaw taunt. What the hell are they? Before I have a chance to wander further, see the nearest rabbits go streaking towards them. Instinctively jerk forward, panic clutching at my chest. Genzo grabs me around the middle and yanks me back against the wall, fingers over my mouth. The next moment, Gidget spins off down the opposite hallway, disappearing into the black. The rabbits follow, shrieks still echoing in my head. We sit there, still, not moving. Heart is still pounding on overdrive in my chest. My haggard breath pushes against Genso's palm. Once the sound of footsteps has faded completely away, Genso relaxes his grip, both of us slump down on the tile. Bring a hand up to wipe the sweat off on my brow, again and again, fingers shaky. Throw a worried glance at Genso. But what about... Genso shushes me. See his gaze go skyward as he listens. Both of us just sitting there in silence as we keen our ears against the void. Then, footsteps. Distant and soft. But running. Getting closer. Till they're practically right on us and... Oh, okay, good. It's just Gidget and you're still alive. Thank Christ. Okay, had me worried for a second, Gidget, but... Good job. Gidget comes sliding around the corner so fast they almost take a nosedive right onto the floor. I jerk backwards so fast I slam my head into the wall, heart shooting up into my voice box. Gidget steadies themselves, stands up with a little hitch to straighten up their mused shirt. I see them trying to bury their inner tumulent, collect themselves even as their breath comes out in hurried bursts. Cough, glance down at us. Genso and I are gazing up at them. Cherry's right. They do go gaga over this stuff. Yeah, I'd almost forgotten we still had that stuff. Try to look back in the direction they'd come. But we don't have long. Come on. Stick out their hand and I take it gratefully. Genso pushes himself to his feet behind me. Then we begin our jog anew. Getting out of this hallway would be a good first step. Anything that would get us out of the potential path, at least long enough for us to regroup and figure out a plan. Find the next corner into a larger hall, lined with windows. Recognize it instantly. Large guest hall, where the nobles would wait before important announcements, which means... Indeed, there it is. Spy a small rectangle of blue light painting the ground in front of the door at the far end. It's ajar then. Entrance to the throne room. Start towards her noiselessly. World eerily silent, aside from the soft taps of my shoes on the tile. Two red doors stand tall and imposing, same as they had in their heyday. Back then, they'd represent power, excitement, usual revelry, and other grandiose changes to come. Now, they represent nothing but memories and ruin. And here, I say simply, though it will explain the way this room seems to be calling me, beckoning me. Press my hand to the surface of the door. Then push. Open slowly, a drawn-out rolling creak that sounds like a long-buried coffin being unearthed. And though I cringe at the sound, I don't stop, nursing it open until the gap is wide enough for me to fit. I step inside, look around. The throne room isn't much different than I remembered it. Okay, I was expecting a lot more dead bodies and whatnot, but... Under the sloping ceiling, possibly high above my head, row after row of wooden pews lining the wide expanse of the center aisle. Gorgeously detailed stained glass windows punctuating the walls at even intervals, casting kaleidoscopic light down onto the white marble tile. A strange stage at the appendix of it all, oversized throne crowning the scene like the top on the world's most expensive cake. Pause for a moment, swallowing hard as I remember when there were two thrones there. Then let my gaze fall to the new addition in the middle of the stage. Raised podium, about waist height. Slender at its base, but widening out into a curved porcelain pool at its head. Like a small wash basin, or drinking fountain, or... What's with the sanctified birth bath? Yes, that exactly. I'm not sure. Take a step towards it, then another. There's something ethereal about it. About the whole scene. Another brilliant flashes of lightning, sending more cascading waves of colour down across the barren scene, aren't helping things. As I approach, I see two dark troughs springing out from either side. They wind their ways towards opposite ends of the stage before disappearing into ominous holes in the wall. And within them they carry muck. The muck. Black stiffy goop that invaded every body of water in this place. The acid that ate through the hull of the kiddie cruise, Genzo's legs. Malignant ooze choking, squeezing, and infecting every inch of things that, like veins of poison, pumping more and more liquefied misery into the threads, weaving the stability of this world together. And at its centre, lying inconspicuously amongst the ooze that topped the podium, almost like some kind of mystical treasure. Beating. Ew, it's a heart. Oh, I just had a thought. Is that Olam's? Because we did see a few brief flashes of him cutting when he was cutting himself. Oh god. And I think I saw him pull out something. I thought it was just a bit of flesh. Yeah, it's his heart and it's poisoning everything. Yeah, it's a heart. Sucking my breath. The acid is coming from it. Every shuddered pulse, another splurge of it gushes out, filling the bowl around it until the excess dribbles and oozes out over the side and into the troughs. It gurgles and sputters, sizzles but never seems to be burning. Just lying there, stretching, shrinking. Goop around it is quivering with each visceral thump. Three of us are transfixed by it. None of us saying a word as we watch it beat. Surreal, the hold it has on us. Almost as though it's beating its way into our own hearts. Yeah. I mean, ours isn't as nearly as bad as Olin's, but I guess we all have a little bit of that darkness taking a hold of our hearts somewhere. Even just a little bit. Thumping in time with our own veins. I feel my head, my eyes, my breath begin to pulse with it. When I imagined a heart-to-heart with Olam, this wasn't exactly what I had in mind. Should I ignore him? But maybe this is for the best. And again, after all, at least this thing can't eat us. You're not helping things. When have I ever? Genzo's waves his arm in exasperation. Shush. His brows turn sharp, twist around to see them with their head poised at attention, ears keen. I go instantly silent, not even breathing. Then I hear it. Footsteps. Faint but rapid. Getting nearer by the second. Shit, Genzo says for the three of us. Then we're running for the doors. We need to bring the heart with us, because I think we need to go put it back inside Genzo. Wait, not Genzo. Freaking Olam, that's what I'm thinking of. To block them, I suppose. Not sure. I mean, that every single one of my nerves lights all at once and sends me hurling back down the aisle towards the doorway. But it's too late. One flash, two flashes. We only make it about halfway there when the doors slam open. We're shuddering at the impact as a wall of brown fur begins to pour in. Oh god, I just had an idea. I don't know if it's a good one, because we still got our own vial. What if we just, throw it onto the heart? I mean, it's probably going to be a good way to get rid of the heart, and also at the same time get rid of the rabbits, because they'll probably end up dying from eating it. I mean, good as plan as any, but poor all of them might die in the process of that. Well, better plan than any, I guess. Am I going to be right about that plan? God, I hope not. I'm hit before I can even stop my forward change, or charge. One of the rabbits comes sailing at me, slamming into me head on, and rolling back down the aisle. World spins around me, my bones knocking against the tile. And I only stop when the rabbit grabs the back of my shirt and slams my chest first into the floor so hard, I swear I feel one of my ribs crack. We didn't need one of that anyway. We got plenty more ribs. Quick out of breath, attempt to survey my surroundings, even as my vision continues to spin. Thud next to me, another rabbit has pinned Gidget down. See them wince as their jaw snaps against the marble. Eyes fill up with tears. Then another thud, past them. Begins to similarly compromise, and looking none too happy about it either. He struggles and jerks against the rabbit's grip, continuous flow of four-letter words on his tongue. But all it earns is another shove against his back. This one visibly knocking the wind out of him. Grows silent then. Yet why aren't they eating us? All of us helpless and pressed to the tile and able to do nothing but throw furtive glances in each other's directions. I can hear my rabbit captor snarling in my ear, the drool leaking from between his lips and the back of my neck. Clench my eyes shut against the sensation, trying to will it all away. Then, now isn't this a delicious sight? All of you down on your knees? Footsteps from behind us. Feel a chill creep up my spine as they make their way towards us. Didn't know you were all that desperate to suck my dick. I mean, all you had to do was ask. Olin practically dances his way in front of us, giving his toes a happy little slap against the floor. Cocks his head to the side in unfocused amusement. Or what? Was the offer only one way? Pity? A pity. Gidget pushes up against the rabbit, keeping them pinned. Olam, this has gone too far. Olam leans back in feigned shock, feeling the large butcher knife he's been clutching behind his back. Oh great, you get to meet Mr. Knife again. Taps the tip of it against his chin, brows arced. That's a bit rich coming from you, wouldn't you say? Does have a point, but toddles towards them, movements unsettling crisp as he brings his heels together directly in front of Gidget's face. Was that haircut supposed to absolve you of all your past wrongdoings? Bounces the flat end of the knife against the top of Gidget's head with a snicker. Gidget can only grimace. I see them clench their eyes shut in frustrated shame. And again, Iggy has always been quite soft. Olin rocks back and forth on his heels, coming towards me with an almost impish sway of his shoulders. A bit too agreeable for his own good, wouldn't you say? Real people pleaser. Squats down in front of me, clenches his fingers in my hair, and wrenches my head back. Then in a mocking tone, I just want to make everyone happy. A few tears pricking at the corners of my eyes, both from the uncomfortable grip and on my curls and from the painful, accurate words. I tend to blink them away, ignore them, keep the focus off me. I start, voice cracking. It's not too late. We can fix this. Put you back together. Find a way to... Almost my head and fall back to the ground with a thud. Fix this? You mean what I've done? Laugh. He lurches to his feet, pink giggle in the back of his throat. There's nothing to fix. This is exactly what I wanted. Why would I want to undo my lithium ascent? He spins around the arm's blade and stumbles back towards the stage. It's there that he pauses, just standing in front of the pedestal, watching the disordered pulsating hunk of flesh pumping out its endless deluge of poison. His eyes shine with it. Darkness tried to swallow me. I snicker. Tried to drag me down with it. Ran me into nothingness. A carrying captive, unable to escape the thoughts in my head. The anonymity of those around me. And another. But I didn't let it. Golf. This one shakes his shoulders and chest. His head rocking back and forth. Too far. Too far. I rose above it, Iggy. Twists back over towards us, grin overtaking his face. Nothing and no one will hurt me ever again. Yeah, you won't feel anything else either. Guess it this time, giving another shove against the rabbit holding them. How about all those other feelings, huh? What about joy and excitement, and love and hope and happiness? Don't you ever want to feel happy again? I'll never feel happy again anyway. But Olin's body seems to snap. Strange, surreal, glitchy motion as the air around him bends and warps. As the castle gives a shudder, heart behind him lurching with a liquidy pop. Then he stumbles to the side. First left, then right. Extends his arm into an unnatural shrug. His arms bending, popping. Uh-oh. Is this finally the transformation we're gonna get? You should have seen the difference it made. 1 second, I'm scrolling all over the walls, trapped in a nightmare enigma of my own design. Next, I just don't care. I laugh. I don't care about anything. He brings his hands to his cheek and in barely restrained mirth, then stops, his eyes widening with a sudden thought. I have an idea. Let's play a game. Uh-oh. I don't like where this is going. After all, I haven't had a chance to haven't had the chance to truly test this yet. To push it to its limits. Wouldn't mind assisting me in a little quality assurance, would you? The king must be assured of his invulnerability after all. Squats down in front of me with a delighted grin, blinks in anticipation. Come now, Iggy. This one should be easy for you. What's something you've always hated about me? Wraps his arms around his knees, watching me with a smile, though waiting for his favorite television program to come on. What? I can only squawk in confusion. No, it's a question. Something you despised about me. That really ground on your nerves. After all, you all hated me so much. You must have a list a mile long of my most heinous transgressions. None of us hated you. Not... Genzo kinda did. Olin blinks, grin never faltering, and snaps his fingers. Rose holding me yanked me up by the back of my shirt, and slammed me back down into the ground. The impact takes my breath away. Vision flashing on and off. I cough, sputter. Chest and jaw scream at me, pulsating waves of pain running up and down my front. Olin stands back up with a little wobble, knife on his chin as his lips curl into a pout. Come now, don't play coy. You can be honest now. Isn't that the key to any relationship? Taps the back end of his knife against his chin. Never had any problems being honest with me before, but I don't hate anything about you. A snap of the fingers. A slam from behind. This time my jaw gives a little crack. The copper taste of blood spreads out across my tongue. I struggle momentarily for air, and when I look up, I see two arms staring down at me. Right before my vision is blocked by the ball of his foot. Then I'm becoming whimper as he presses his toes into my eyes. Why are you being so difficult? All I want is a little taste. You must have so much of it built up in there. Don't be so selfish. Snicker. Or do you need even more incentive? Is that it? Sweet little Iggy couldn't possibly say anything bad about someone, could he? Twice his foot away, squatting back down in front of me with a little smirk instead. Let's see if we can't tease some of those secret truths of yours out. I already know I have a knack of exposing other sides of you. He grabs at my wrist. He yanks it towards him. Oh great. Not my fingers again! Olin. Then towards the knife in his other hand. Which one of these would you miss the most, I wonder? Olin, stop! Olin, don't! Starts bobbing the tip of the knife over my fingers, playful tune on his lips. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a liar by his toe. Olin, stop! Now there's a yelling too now. Olin pauses as though in intense scrutiny, then lets the edge of the knife hover over my index finger. If he hovers, let him go. Raises it. Eeny, meeny, miny. I hated how you always walk so close behind me all the time. I clench my eyes shut as I shout it. Ruined over my body pulled taunt. Olin stops. Just sits there for a moment. And pulls back, gaze going skyward and cheeks flushing in growing ecstasy. Remarkable, says softly. Then again, louder, stumbling back to his feet and hands going to his face. Remarkable. After spills off his tongue, dancing on the air, ricocheting off the floor. I didn't feel a thing. More and more and more. Rushes to the left, twirls on his heels to his right, almost as though performing some kind of drunken dance. God, this feels great. Then spins back towards me, pupils shaking in their sockets. See, that wasn't so hard, was it? All that sequenced animus. Doesn't it feel good to just let it go? Show everyone how you really feel? So what I can do to fix my gaze on the floor at his feet. Staring here building up beneath my eyes, across my cheeks. Olin's gaze flicks towards Gidget. Then he twists towards them, eyes practically gleaming. Oh, Gidget, sings, doing a sort of teasing moonwalk in front of their face. What do you hate about me? I'm dying to hear it. I'm not playing your games. Snap. The rabbit holding Gidget slams them into the ground so hard I see blood fly out between her lips. Oh, boo-hoo. This one's fun, I promise. Don't you want to see how good it feels to let it all out? Mama slides his hand up to his forehead, eyes flashing. What was it that poor little Orland Brubacher that made you so offended? Filled you with so much antipathy. It is still attempting to recover. They don't try to raise their head. Spit out a tooth on the floor. Orland brings the toe of his foot down slowly and deliberately onto their hand, first barely applying any weight. What do you need more incentive to? Then gradually, leisurely, shifting his full weight onto his foot. Gidget groans, tears forming in their eyes. They jerk their head away with a cry of defeat. I always hated your stupid rat tail. I think it looks sleazy and gross. This one makes Orland jerk backwards with a sharp peal of laughter, almost as though he has been shot. God, that's so good. Pans herself with a wistful sigh. Get me all excited over here. I should hang all of you around my bed so you can whisper sweet indignities in my ear while asleep. He jerks forward, momentum nearly sending him to the floor. He recovers with a laugh, stumbling towards Genzo instead. I guess here comes the reveal. Now for the climax, Anticipatory giggle, high-pitched trill in the back of his throat. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Oh, Genzo usually has a lot to say about you. Squats down, arms on his knees, in front of Genzo's face. Though you already ridicule me so much, so this one has to be good. A real zinger. Sneers, leaning forward to grab Genzo's collar. I want it to burn. See Genzo's eyes go tight. Jaw taut. Looks straight into Orland's eyes. Then jerks his head away. Orland blinks. Goes back just a tad. Then snaps his fingers. Rabbit's holding Genzo slams him into the ground. Not sure why this keeps being necessary. Can none of you learn through observation? Are you all just too afraid of being outed for who you really are? Have to make it look like you care, But you never had a problem with that, have you, Genzo? Mouth of yours could win a marathon. Orland crawls forward this time, fingers sneaking beneath Genzo's hat and clenching into his curls with a jerk. Come now, dear. You're so good at it after all. Starts threading his fingers through Genzo's hair. Let it all out. Things about me that disgust you. Make your skin crawl. See Genzo press his lips together, tight. Then jerk his gaze away. Orland halts his ministrations, that's right. Just staring down at the top of Genzo's head. Then he snarls and pulls back, eyes flashing. This time the rabbit slams Genzo into the floor 3 times. Third one, I hear a crack. See Genzo's eyes fill up with tears. Twin trails of blood begin leaking down his nose. Say it, Orland says. Strangely soft, strangely calm. Genzo just lies there, face against the tile. Say it, Orland says again. Genzo coughs. There's a little tendril of bloody drool down his lips, but says nothing. Orland's eyes flash. The air around him sees the snap. He stomps forward, footsteps cracking against the tile. You're gonna fucking say it, you hear me? grabs Genzo's wrist and yanks his arm out. And this time, doesn't even bother with the lead up. Pulls Genzo's hand out towards him, twists the knife overhead, then sets it down over Genzo's index finger. Well, at least it wasn't my fingers this time. There's a strange scorchy pop. Finger goes bouncing, rolling away, leaving a trail of red in its wake. I hope you didn't need that finger, Genzo. Genzo's body goes rigid. Eyes nearly popping out of his head as he gasps, sputters. Bites down so hard on his lip, I'm surprised he doesn't chomp straight through it. Olin's breathing hard, just gazing down at his handiwork for a second. Then the smile returns. Brushes his bangs back and out of his eyes with a satisfied swipe. Cocks his head towards Genzo. There, see? That's what happens when you don't do what you're told, yes. You adorably untrained puppy. Tears are flowing freely down Genzo's face now. His face has gone white. Eyes, lips, whole body trembling as his pupils go in and out of focus. Bloody stump where his finger used to be continues to leak blood out onto the floor. Let's try this again then, shall we? Or would you like me to go 5 for 5? Genzo clenches his eyes shut. I can hardly bear to watch. And I start to fill up with tears, blurring my vision. Just do it, Genzo, whisper hoarsely. It's silent a moment. Then Genzo's eyes pop back open. Jaw taut and trembling, he shakes his head, jolting jerks to the left and right, like a child refusing to share their favourite toy. Olim's smile falls, his face strangely blank, just staring down at Genzo. Why won't you say it? Words are so soft, I don't even hear them at first. Then, why won't you say it? Louder. Shoulders are trembling now. Why won't you fucking say it? This one's a scream that rips at his vocal cords, bites at my eardrums. Grabs Genzo's head in both hands, screaming straight into his face. Everybody fucking knows it, so just say it already. He shakes Genzo's head so hard drool and snot flies out of his nose and mouth, fingers gouging into Genzo's hair and cheeks. Say how much you fucking hate me. Genzo clenches his eyes shut against the onslaught, still saying nothing, which Olim takes as another sign of refusal. He shrieks. Let's go Genzo's head. Grabs Genzo's arm instead, this time gripping him by the wrist and yanking the entire thing towards him, knife going skyward. Say it or I'll cut your whole fucking arm off. Olim's breath is ragged now. He stares at Genzo, glares at Genzo, nose poised and quivering. Genzo's arm helplessly beneath it. Genzo's arm helpless beneath his grip, and Genzo simply turns his head away, almost as though surrendering. Almost starts to shake, jerks backward as though he's been stabbed, screaming. Knife drops to the ground as he clutches at his head. He looks backwards, lurches to his feet, stumbling and wobbling and teetering. Back. Running so loud I can hear his throat ripping, tearing. As behind him, heart twitches and jumps, bubbles popping in the surrounding muck. Back and forth he reels, nearly falling to the floor, tripping over his feet. Strange drunken grief-struck dance. Finally he slows, body crumpling in on itself, his shoulders sag, his knees bend, nearly to the floor. He stands there, slumped and silent. Then Genzo starts to move. Stop him, you idiot! Stop him! See, Genso finally got a taste for meat. Well, at least it's not human flesh and just a rabbit. Stay away. I said stay away. Stay away. Sorry. I never hated you. I was just scared. So fucking scared how people would look at me. Because I saw how they looked at you. Rather than do anything about it, I led the charge. Because I was stupid, sad, scared little kid. I'm just so fucking sorry. I guess it wasn't Iggy that needed to change or fix someone. It's Genzo. That's all we ever wanted to hear, I guess. What the fuck? I guess all we ever needed to hear was Genzo apologize. Gotta be fucking kidding me. Quick, the heart. It's bleeding. Bleeding actual blood. Because, yeah, no longer black and poisoned with all the hatred that he's felt over the years that had been building up. He finally cares. Castle starts to shake. Starts as a low rumble. Towers are buzzing and vibrating beneath us, then extends up and into the walls. Window panes rattling in their frames. Pews shifting as they start sliding across the floor, with long creaks groaning. Horrific crash snaps bringing me from my trance. One of the giant chandeliers has snapped its chain and comes smashing to the ground. Shards of glass and metal bouncing, flying, hunks of ceiling plaster thudding next to it. It's at this point that the rabbits must say fuck it, because they're already up on their haunches, skittish eyes flicking across the crumbling cage around us. One holding me screeches something, high-pitched cry of alarm amongst the din. See you later, I guess. Then it scampers off, followed quickly by the others. 3 of them bolting for the door as another giant chunk of ceiling comes crashing down on top of the pews. I push myself to my feet with a wobble, heart beating in my ears. Genzo? Genzo can only look up at me in white-faced confusion. Almost still limp in his arms and leaking more and more of the offending ooze across the floor. The heart! Get it shouts as they come stumbling over. Another crash. Just run right next to me. I jump and slap my hands to my ears. Grab the heart! It seems to snap me out of it, because with a jerk twist on my own heart, I launch towards the pedestal. Red. The red is everywhere now. Like a fountain overflowing, pumping down across the pedestal. Across the floor, dark and slick and glistening. Resist the urge to gag and go sliding through it. And shove my hands straight into the bubbling, frothing mass. Fingers connect. It squishes between them. I feel it pulsing out through my palm, throbbing against my grip. God, fuck. I don't waste another moment. Back, back, back. Back towards Genzo and Orlum and Gidget. Crushing the pulsating lump of tissue between my hands. Blood is spluttering up and out through my fingers, painting my arms, leaking down between my palms, leaving a trail of red behind me as I run. What do I do with it? What do I do with it? Shout comes out more hurried than I expected it to, but my own heart is going to, into overdrive now. God, can't get my words out. The disgusting feeling of all that red hot slopping and slipping and squirting between my fingers, making my whole body shrivel up like a raisin. Rapid breath between my lips. You would think that I would have gotten used to the sight of blood now with everything that we've been through, but Genzo takes one look at me, one look at Orlum. A knife. Get me the knife. Gidget doesn't waste any time. They're only in 2 steps, practically throwing it at Genzo. Genzo gorges it straight into Orlum's chest. Luckily he didn't lose any more fingers trying to catch the damn thing. Get stuck there. Fuck. Genzo gives her another impatient yank, which makes Orlum's body jerk, skin rip and squish around it. Now I about lose my lunch right there and then. I feel my consciousness already fading in and out, vision hazy. After a few tugs, he's able to jerk it back out. Left a nice gaping cleft where the incision had been. Not so much as a pause, he shoves his finger inside of it, gripping both sides of the fissure and pulls. Ugh. God, that's so gross. Why is with a grotesque snap, crackle, pop that makes my stomach roil? Give it to me. Genzo's voice snaps out me out of my stupor. Okay, time to shove it in. Practically shoved the offending organ into his hands. Bleeding everywhere now. Across Genzo's palm, down to all his shirt and chest. Growing pool on the floor. Genzo takes one look at it, then shoves it into the gaping hole. Now it's my turn to take Genzo's place and say, it's not the only thing he's going to be shoving in there later. I'm sorry, I know now is not the time for those types of jokes. Nothing happens for a moment. World rumbling around us as blood starts filling up the empty chest cavity. Ew. I hate those noises. Then the 2 sides of the incision abruptly slam shut around Genzo's hand. Holy fuck. Genzo attempts to yank his hand up, but tightens around his wrist. Uh-oh. Is he gonna lose his entire hand now? slapping shut around him like a round edges of a bottle. Shit. Now I'm down on my knees too, hands against his arm, yanking and tugging. Gidget on the other side, all three of us frantically attempting to exercise. Against his hand from the suction-tight grip. Finally, with one other snapping jolt, Genzo goes flying back, and the wound closes up. Nothing but a large pale pink vein-like scar in his wake. Okay, you still got your hand, buddy? Still all intact? Potentially just one finger missing? We sit there, watching, till all his body gets a jolt. Orlin? You okay, buddy? A cough. Bloody speckles shooting out between his lips. Okay, well, at least he's not, pouring out black ooze now, so... Got real blood this time. Not black. Red. Hey, buddy. You okay? There's a great murmur as his chest flutters with convulsions. He's alive. He's somehow alive. Don't know how the fuck he could be. Don't know how the fuck any of this could be. But somehow we done it. Tiny smile spreads across my lips. Throw a glance at Genzo and Gidget, both of them looking equally as relieved. Victory, however, is short-lived. Giant creek from above grabs our attention. I shoot my gaze skyward as I see a huge chunk of ceiling begin to break off as one of the walls crumples forward. Shit! Genzo is to his feet. Okay. We need to grab all of them and fucking skedaddle out of here. When the far walls splinter, cracks spreading across them like ghostly webs against the black. Then they shatter, one by one, as the wall holding them is in place splits in two. Whole fucking castle is about to collapse. I would suggest we leave now. Gidget staggers to their feet, voice sharp. Read my fucking mind. Gonna takes one look at the crumbling foundation, kneels down to scoop Orlin up into his arms. Let's blow this fucking popsicle stand. Okay, yeah, let's get out of here. Then we're off. Three of us pelting back down through the din and the chaos and the crumbling, crackling walls. Yeah, I'm vibing with this song. This is a fucking awesome song. Honestly, I've been loving all the music in this particular arc. It's been fucking amazing. Get back out into the hall. So loud I can't hear. So loud my body, my head, my chest buzzes with it, and pulses with it. Gidget takes the lead, guiding us back down through the quaking corridors. Focus on their feet, head rhythm pounded into the carpet. I let the rhythm fuel my own legs even as the rest of me festers somewhere between panic-induced numbness and a screaming mental breakdown. Run. Just run. Genzo behind me, his ragged breath barely audible over the bedlam. Unconscious in his arms and legs dangling and bouncing with each frantic step. Thundering crash from somewhere behind us. Part of the castle has finally collapsed. Walls around us give us a shuddered jolt of their own, trembling on either side of us as we race from hall to hall. We make it back to the stairwell, then another passageway, left, right, left, out into the grand entryway. The once read tapestry from my memory ripped and shredded, sinking into the ground in heavy rumpled piles around us. Stained glass windows high up on the walls splintering, shattering, sending tiny shards of kaleidoscopic glass up onto the marble tile. Gidget reaches the main door, giant imposing, but already rocking and creaking on its hinges. Shoved open with their shoulders so hard I'm surprised it doesn't collapse to the ground around them. Then we're outside. Back out into the night. First thing that hits me is the rain. Sharp across my face, but refreshing at the same time. Bunch of fresh air, a breath of fresh air, cool and crisp as it washes the blood still painting my hands, arms, face. Close my eyes against it, just letting it wash over me as I fly out past the main gates, past the moat, past the shattered forms of gnarled trees and half-ruined barricades. Moon peeks out through the clouds even as thunder crackles above us. Lining our way, casting out galloping forms in milky high contrast and etching out shadows across the path. Around us, I see flashes of ears, darting forms escaping into the night. All of us are just trying to get away, put distance between ourselves and those once soaring spires before the whole thing comes crashing to the ground. Gidget turns towards the forest and I don't question them. Yes, that's where we're supposed to go. That's where all of this is leading, isn't it? We disappear beneath the veil of the trees. Still pressing forward. Nothing but highballed patterns of moonlight through the ways to light our path. On and on and on. Something incredibly final about it. A fated escape. As though all of this planned from the start. And only now are we finally able to reach whatever end is in store for us. Gidget finally begins to slow. Allow my own momentum to decrease and turn. Slower, easier. Numb legs crunching more purposely through the brush on the foot. My lungs catch up with me, hacking cough between my lips as I stumble from tree to tree, fingers rough against the wet bark. None of us says anything. There's no need. We all know where we're going at this point. So why so surprised when no more than 5 minutes later, trees thin out to reveal a wide clearing. And at the center, a small cozy cabin nestled amongst the trees. Slow further, easing out into an unsteady walk. Feet catch on the grass, rendering my steps stumbling and staggering. My chest screams at me, breath coming out in rough, hoarse gasps that clutch and claw at my throats. But I don't stop. None of us stop. Not until we're standing in front of it. The cabin. Our cabin. Something both welcoming yet terrifying about it. How many times had I died here? Had we died here? Memories of what occurred here twist and curl in my insides. Yet they're shadowed by a veil of relief. We made it. The four of us. Somehow, in spite of everything, we're here. Place of respite. For us to have one final moment before the final battle begins. That's right. This is my final moment too. Choice I need to make before we can continue. A thought prickles at my heart. Anxious jab that send my stomach jumping. And I bring my hand to the back of my neck, gaze falling towards the wet grass. In front of me, Gidget opens the door. Creak of its hinges echoing against my ribs. Then, we step inside. Okay, Bucks, where are you? And can we just put away the axe for like a couple of minutes, please? The cabin is exactly as I remember it. It's warm and strangely comforting. You know, something cooking atop the stove, filling the air with a delightful scent. Almost as though it had been waiting for us. Waiting for us for a long time. Look around, gaze jumping from the stove to the table to the bed. Focus lingering there for a second too long. Feel my insides start to twist. I shake my head to clear my thoughts, jerking away. It looks equally as uneasy in front of me. See their eyes gaze travelling from the bed to the kitchen floor. Colour momentarily drains from their face before they grit their teeth, moving purposely to the centre of the room. Well, We're here, you say simply. Yippee, fucking Skippy. Ginzo lets out a sigh, shifting all in his arms. Kinda hoping for no vacancies so he had an excuse to vamoose the fuck out of here. Didn't that kind of happen already? I wince. Well, for some of us anyway. Throw a pained glance in Orlan's direction, who responds with a non-committal grunt. Gidget begins wandering around, first to the table, scrutinizing the plate full of cookies at its center, then to the pot slowly simmering atop the stove, then to the back wall, to the door that I swear to fucking God has never been there before. At least not in reality. Interesting, they muse. Then they try the handle. Doesn't budge, because of course it doesn't. Gidget gives it a few more solid tugs for good measure, but it's locked up tight. Guess that's a no-go. Or we could just walk around to the back of the house like a real pass of problem solvers. Gidget snorts and lowers the arm down on the bed. I stare at the door in question, strange gurgling dancing in my gut. I reckon the door is where we're meant to go. Okay, how are we going to get this thing down? Okay, well, maybe we can go find the axe and pry it off Buck's cold dead hands, maybe? Otherwise, see if there's a key around somewhere. I don't know. Clasp and unclasp my hands, fingers bouncing idly. Something tells me it doesn't lead behind the house. Gidget looks at me, then back at the door. Aren't they feeling a strange sense of otherworldliness that I am? I grunt and cross their arms, slowly moving back towards the table. Well, wherever it leads, we can figure it out in a bit. Because I need at least 5 minutes peace now that we're not actively being hunted for once. Hell to the fucking A. And I'm gonna fix me up a heaping bowl of whatever that is that's smelling like the Divine Comedy over there. Let's just hope it's not poisoned. Ginzo claps his hand together with an eager grin as he starts with the stove. The Divine Comedy. That doesn't even make any sense. Orlan holds a hand to his temple as though he's staving off a headache. Are you sure it's safe to eat that? Putting a hand up in a worry that word. Even as I do, I can feel my own stomach grumble somewhat unceremoniously in response. Gidget brings her hand to the hip with a sigh. I'd be equally as leery if I went fighting the tingling suspicion that it was left here for us to begin with. A pause. That, and I'm also ridiculously hungry. Well, you better hurry the fuck up then, because once I start slopping, I ain't stopping. Oh my god, I want that. I want that to be my slogan. I want to wear that on a shirt. It doesn't take long for the four of us to have filled up a couple of bowls with stew and taken our seats at the table. 4 chairs. Just enough for us. One of the others had nursed as I anxiously squeezed my spoon between my fingers. Stew smells even better up close. I see thick chunks of potatoes, carrots and beef within the thick broth. Stomach gurgles again. Last time I ate. When was the last time I ate? Breakfast back in the burrow? Brow drops, or droops. The burrow. A rabbit. Cherry. I feel like that life. It somehow feels like a lifetime ago already. Yet I can still picture his face clearly in my mind. Wade's eyes had turned sharp as he shouted at me to run, and he held off the assaulting rabbits, and I bite down on my tongue. Can't let myself think about that now. As soon as I let one demoralizing thought into my mind, they all start pouring in like a landslide. I can't afford to let myself wallow in debilitating despair. At least not until we get back to reality, then we can do that as much to our heart's content. Yeah, not yet, at least. Not when we haven't found Bucks yet. Not when we haven't brought this fucking horror movie to a close yet. Even if that's even possible. Dip my spoon into the stew, watching the wooden surface bump and jostle the coloured chunks as I slowly stir it. Finally, bring a scoop to my mouth. It's warm against my lips. I can't seem to taste it. It rolls around like mush in my mouth. Is this even edible? See all I'm prodding in his stew with his spoon. Thinly veiled look of disgust on his face. Oh yeah, I forgot you're a strict humanitarian type. Oh yeah. Nice. Nice. Would it hurt if I cut a hunk of my stomach for you, your highness? Honest knows. And I'd forgotten you'll eat anything that's placed in front of you. Pardon me for still having some semblance of taste. Taste? Taste, says the cannibalistic dictator. What is this, freaky-deaky opposite fun-time Murderland? I mean, stare down at my stew, thin veil of sweat gathering across my forehead. Guys, I assumed we were going to keep things pleasant until we made it out of this eternal pit of torment, but apparently not. Would you like to get into every one of your abhorrent vulgarisms, or can we enjoy a single meal in peace? Genzo slams his hand down on the table, jerking to his feet. At least I haven't butchered everyone in this fucking table, Mr. High and Mighty. No, you'll just slowly chip away at them from the inside until they want to die so you can blame it all on someone else. Guys, voices as quiet as a whisper. Better than melting someone's face off with a fucking cattle prod, you twisted dipshit. Yes, that was one of my finer moments, wasn't it? Your face was so delightful watching him squeal. Would you two fucking stop it? Now let's get your turn to slam their hands down on the table. Enough to shut the other two up immediately. Cameron goes quiet. Nothing but the sound of the slowly dwindling diesel on the roof. Look, every one of us has done some pretty horrific things. Gazes focus somewhere on the plate of cookies in the middle of the table. We all hurt each other in unforgivable ways. This, however, I see their eyes flick towards me for just a moment. Feel myself sink just a bit, as though wanting to disappear into my stew. Far from going over everything that happened in here. It's going to take some long talks before we even start to work things out. I pause, bloated and heavy and seeming to hang over everyone in the room. Forgetcher displays their hands with a bark. But for Christ's sake, can we get out of this alive before you start going at each other's throats? Here's the one adding unnecessary commentary. Yeah, well, maybe I don't want to get eaten in my sleep. You. Kiddo reaches over Richard Genzo's cap from his head, hurls it to the floor. Sit down and shut up. No one's eating anymore. I see Genzo purse his lips together and barely suppress jargon, but he does as he's told. Chair creaks as he slumps back down with an audible snort. Next to him, Orm snickers. Forgetcher points their fingers straight to his face. You, eat your damn stew and stop complaining. No one cares about your delicate palate. Orm's lips curl downwards. Looks as though he wants to say something, but he ultimately stays silent, obediently picking up his spoon with a distasteful click of his tongue. And you. Hey, what did I do? Kiddo turns to me this time. I must give them the most spooked out look in the history of our friendship because they seem to lose their spunk. They wince, then arms fall, then gesture limply towards my stew. Make sure you eat enough. Rub the back of their neck, eyes strained. Look like you could keel over if anyone so much as looks in your direction. Then they sit awkwardly back in their chair, pulling up to the table with a creak of the wood. Goes silent again. Till Genzo takes an overzealous bite of his stew with a damn, this is some fine-ass fucking stew. Seems to release some of the tension, all of us begin to eat. I still can't seem to taste it. Probably finally bitten my tongue one too many times and chewed off all my taste buds in the process. All feels good in my stomach. Let's put some colour back in my cheeks too, because all in comments there, I look less like a corpse as we're carrying the balls over to the counter. But I can't help but feel it's just a bit ironic. Just a bit. Gidget rinses off the balls using water from one of the buckets next to the stove as the rest of us clean off the table. Genzo wraps a cloth around the gooey stump of his finger before nabbing one of the cookies, munching on it as we instinctively meander over to the back door. Three of us stare at it, silent except for Genzo's munching, till Gidget finishes up and joins us. Then the four of us simply stand there. It's locked, huh? Few comes fall from Genzo's mouth to adorn his jacket. Seems like it, Gidget mumbles in response. A sniff, rub at my nose, then step towards it and grab the handle. Give my best college try, really tugging it. But all it does is rattle on its hinges. Yeah, it's pretty stuck. I wipe out the small beads of sweat that fall onto my forehead, somewhat sheepish as I step back. And we're sure this is where we have to go? Almost seems unconvinced. Well, rub at the back of my neck, and look to Gidget. Looks to Genzo. He shrugs with a wall of cookie smothered. I don't know. This is the cabin, right? The cabin? Bring a hand to my forehead as the others begin gesturing in a faint attempt at self-persuasion. Where all of this has been leading. I mean, we've all dreamed about it, haven't we? This resulted in 3 abject stares from my companions. I blink. Calm my head to the side. Honest plays his hands. Considering all of us seem to have met some kind of untimely demise here, highly doubt this would be any of our dream home. Hum a hum against my forehead, in a series of tiny whacks. No, that's not what I... Turn back to the door as though it will give me some kind of answer or sign or something. Wait. The doll! Oh my god. Been so fucking long. The doll that... The fucking doll that we found earlier in our, bag. Do we even still have that? God. Otherwise it's gonna be a pain in the ass to try and find it. We had to backtrack somewhere to find it, if we dropped it somewhere. Now I'm back to tugging on the handle. Desperately this time. Iggy. He steps towards me, a hand on my shoulder. It's okay. Don't go postal in the door rigs. Well, I think it's about time Iggy goes postal on something. Other than that one time in, Orland's route where you got angry and pissed at everybody. Let Gidget pull me away from the metal knob. Now greased with sweat on my palms. Shoulders slump. But I make another vague gesture that only falls limp at my side. This is supposed to be... we'll figure it out. Gidget says, voice almost resolute enough to calm me. Almost. Yeah, Iggs, we'll fuck around and find out. Do you even understand what that means? I wince. Hey, we might not have dreamed about it, but all of us were pulled here one way or another. Sometimes multiple times. His brows twitch just a bit at this. This is where we were meant to come, and we'll figure out what to do next. We've come this far, haven't we? I rub at my arm, still feeling mildly as though I let everyone down. Images of that night 20 years ago flashed through my head. Book in my lap, everyone gathered around. I wanted so desperately to impress them, to make them happy. Same as I do now? Or is it... Yeah, I say with a sigh. Maybe we get some shut-eye until morning at least. Prove things with fresh eyes tomorrow. Me and my stomach approve of this plan. It's not the worst idea. Won't scratch his Teddy's neck. Yeah, I say again. It's time I allow Gidget to pull me back towards the center of the room. Studying the grain of the floorboards, my hearing especially keen all of a sudden. Rain seems to have stopped, leaving everything silent, save the crackling fire in the stove. Come on. I tend to figure out sleeping configurations after that, but it's clearly not big enough for all of us. Dr. Olm says that part of it should be his on his account of blood regeneration due to fatigue. None of us is keen to join him. Poor Olm. poor Olm. It's okay, Olm, I would join you in bed. They pass out with pillows and blankets, and we can find and establish our own little corners. Aw, we're not gonna build our own pillow fort? Come on, that'd be fun! Curl up with a blanket next to the stove. Gidget insists on taking one of the chairs, despite looking in no way comfortable. Genzo takes the floor nearest the front door on account of he's barely making the perfect doorstop in case anyone tries to get in. Way to go, Genzo, way to go. I definitely feel you on that one. No one ever stays for long. 10 minutes in, Genzo grunts and says he needs some air and wanders out the door. 2 minutes after that, Gidget gets up, says they're restless and figure they'll check things out behind the cabin just in case. Leaving no one but Olm and me in the cabin. Hypocrites, hear Olm mumble beneath his breath from over the bed, on the bed. Pull my blanket tight around my shoulders and stare up at the fire. I'm restless too. Exhausted as I am, can't seem to keep my eyes shut for more than a minute at a time. Dark void of my eyes seem to tempt my anxious thoughts to assault me en masse. And the dull ache of my injured arm makes finding a comfortable position more than a little difficult. I lie there, warmth of the fire on my face, listening to the sound of my breath, creaking on the cabin walls, occasional hoot of a bird outside. I shiver despite the dancing flames. Once in my life, I wouldn't mind talking to someone. No, I feel I need to talk to someone. Need to be near someone. Don't mind how it will disappear into darkness if I don't. I sit up, still shivering. Why am I so cold? Can't stop. Shivering. Hear my teeth chattering against each other. Deep guttural chill curling up through my bones and around my heart. Why am I this cold? Oh. Is it, Iggy's turn now? 'Cause I shouldn't be this cold. Don't I deserve to be warm? Glance over at Olm, then at the door. That need is still there. Feel it pushing inside my heart. Need to be near someone. To share their warmth. Is it so bad? To seek warmth from someone else? To want somebody to share it with? I've always been so stubborn. Insisting that others' warmth should come first. But without warmth, I'll die. Without warmth, I'll fade away into nothingness. Oh, interesting. So my affection is too low with each of these. Interesting. Probably because I haven't actually talked to them at all this route, but So yeah, I'm assuming if we're gonna go down these routes, we'll need to talk to them in their respective choices when we in this arc. But we can go talk to all of them, but going with my initial plan, as much as this fucking sucks, because we're still going down with the route of fuck everybody, we're doing this ourselves. Because when we get to Olm, we'll do his route, and then, as I said, with the other two, we'll... Yeah, I think you get the point by now, but... Sorry, Iggy, we're not talking to anyone, even though I feel bad about this. Oh, this option will determine your final ending. Are you sure you don't want to talk to anyone? Oh. Wait, so this one actually affects our ending? Huh, interesting. I thought the initial one falling down into Wonderland was the one that would affect our ending, not this one. So yeah, yes, we're gonna go for it. This is probably gonna be one of the more depressing ones. I get a distinct feeling about that. Boygie's not gonna have anybody to share his warmth with, but don't worry, I am going to be coming back to the other endings. Bring a hand to my forehead, staring up at the ceiling of the cabin, studying intricate patterns of the wood. Then, with a little sigh, turn towards the stove, scooching just a bit closer to its warmth. No, it's okay. I can make my own warmth. Need to be able to make my own warmth. With a blanket tied around my shoulders, staring into the dancing flame. So many people wanting things, expecting things of me. Maybe I just need to focus on myself. Somehow this thought comforts me. Yeah, that's right. Myself. Now that's the goal. Now that's my choice. I may change my mind in the future. Foreshadowing of potential future endings. For now, I'm content just focusing on me. And it isn't that bad to just focus on yourself and not worry about other people. Iggy. Something curled around me. Cinched across my limbs like a tangled mess of netting. Coon of warmth holding me in place. Oh, never mind. Iggy. Not in bed, am I? Don't remember my bed being quite this hard or constructive. Moved my lips against each other with a growing displeasure and tried to turn over before the tendrils of consciousness can fully claim me. Fuck's sake, Iggs, you're gonna strangle yourself in there. Eyes snap open. This isn't my bed. This isn't my room. It certainly isn't my fire-burning stove, radiating cozy heat onto my cheeks as the blanket twisted tight around my limbs, and neck threatened to cut off my circulation. Oh. Glanced up to see three faces gazing down on me in blank observation. It's okay, I'm fine. God, it'd only be Iggy that would somehow manage to kill himself with his own bedsheets by accident. Right. Good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello. Thought you were going to sleep the entire morning. Well, I think Iggy really needed that sleep. God damn it, Autumn. The others didn't appreciate my suggestion of consuming you for breakfast. You've had enough meat from me, thanks. Not that there's much left of it. Think you've done enough eating of your friends, Autumn. Too soon. Too soon. Well, like too fucked up. I never hear him make another joke about eating people again, it'll still be too soon. What a wake-up call. Crumble beneath my breath as I attempt to rise to a seat. Anchor the cords of the blanket currently cinched around my windpipe. We're just glad you were actually able to get some sleep. Good, it shoots me a bludgeoned smile. Anyone needed it, it was certainly you. If only we all could have been so lucky. The snores of this one over here might as well have been a steam engine careening through the cabin door. What can I say? I'm a loud guy. In more ways than one. I'm glad you said it, Orlum, not me. Ignore the Miggy. Come on, let me help you with that. He kneels down next to me. He is helping me work loose the tightly wound cords of fabric looped up and around my chest. Is there anything else to eat around here? My tummy is rumbling like a volcano. Yes, let's hope it doesn't erupt. Once I'm free, Gidget helps me to my feet. Takes me a moment to find my balance. Though I saw some porridge in there when I was scrounging around earlier. Not much, but it will give us some energy at least. Gruel. Just what I always wanted. Yeah, payback for how grueling every second is being within 3 feet of you. I love some porridge. I interject before this game of increasingly scathing rip post can continue. Let's make some porridge. Of course you would. You just want to make everyone happy, after all. Oi, lay off with me, okay? I didn't do anything wrong with you. Raise a finger. Lower it. Shrug. It's true that, as that is, at this moment, nothing would make me more happy. And yippee-ki-yay, let's fuck us up some porridge. Yes, please. Let's move on with the conversation. We eat our porridge, continue investigating the premises, tend to or re-tend to our wounds, finally get a proper clean wrap for my arm. Kitty takes a look at my stitches, which somehow, in spite of everything, haven't come out again, but still could use a bit of hygiene. Her clothes get a bit of spot cleaning, though there's only so much water and a tiny bit of soap can do to tackle the staining properties of blood. And I continue to monitor the door in vain. All 4 of us have tried it now on separate occasions. Not one of us has had any luck. Kitchen also confirmed my suspicions that the door wasn't visible from the other side. Strange, isn't it? Door on the inside that isn't visible from the back. All the more reason for me to believe Wonderland's testing us with its trickery again. Or at the very least, trying to keep something hidden. But why lead us all the way here, only to block our path? Yeah, maybe it's Buck's doing, because she really didn't want to be... she really wanted to be left alone. So maybe she created something, because she... get the feeling she probably knew we'd be coming back, no matter how much she tried to get us to stay away, so maybe made this door so then we couldn't get in and we could finally leave her alone, potentially. Must be something we can... Staring at it again, fingers tapping idly on the table as Gidget all and peeled potatoes from a sack they found in the pantry. Tasks that had been deemed too difficult for Genzo in his current defingered state, so he'd sent to chop a few more logs to add to the stove. He heard the sound of him hacking away behind the cabin. Punctuated on occasion by the aggravated fuck. Continue to stare at the door even as we finish cooking dinner. Then, as we're eating, then as we're lounging around restlessly listening to Genzo bring up another ridiculous story from our youth. All in complaining about the moldy cabin air starting to seep into the marrow of his bones. I'm here, Iggy. Uh-oh. Yes, that's what you said. Remember that just fine, thank you very much. You're here, I'm here, we're all here. But what do you want from me? Made my choice. Yes, I made my choice. Didn't I? The choice. Choice I had to make before we could move on. Before I could move on. Choice for myself. Chill on the inside of my cheek. Then I flick my gaze back to the door. Thoughts returned to last night. Desperate feeling of needing to talk to someone. That went against every instinct I normally felt. That wasn't the first time I felt like that in recent memory. No, first time was... I blink. Previous moment, I'm back in my apartment. Got my phone in my hand. I'd just gotten off a call from Hannah. Thinking that I need to change things. Pivotal moment that had happened time and time again. All the events following it determined by that one single call. Sit there a moment longer, motionless. Then begin frantically checking my pockets. Of course, I still have it. Had it when I left Genzo's apartment. Had it every time I've entered Wonderland. But what's the point of a phone if it's in a world cut off from reality? Under in my lower right leg pocket. Turned off, of course, and likely dead. Hasn't been charged in days, after all. It's been knocked around, bludgeoned, plunged in water, and who knows what else. A thin web of cracks across the dark screen. Rub at a sticky spot, something rather along the bottom edge. This is stupid. So stupid. Yet, in spite of those thoughts, I pressed the power button. And the phone, against all fucking odds, find every possible realistic explanation, springs to life. What the fuckings? You gonna order us pizza or something? Oh god, I wish. I fucking wish. Here goes a snicker from the other side of the room. How's it even still working? Mine died weeks ago. I'm not even sure where mine went. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I resist the urge to tell all of them I know exactly where his phone is. Oh, we know. I was about to say that too. Instead, I watch intently as the phone runs through its startup animations. Taking especially an excruciatingly long time. Well, finally revealing the colourful laser light show that's the default wallpaper I never changed. Icon in the corner informs me that my phone is at 0%. Interesting. Icon in the other corner informs me that I have no signal. Also interesting. Regarding both of these ultimatums, I instead bring up my contacts and start scrolling through the names. I should call someone. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Call someone. Call who? Wait, I can call myself? Why? Scroll down to my own name in the list. That's right. Made my choice. Now I'm going to decide my happiness. Press my thumb to the call button. Melody starts ringing. I just stare at it. That little pulsing phone icon flashing on and off. Now everyone else is staring too. Just listening to it ring. 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 There's a click. But not from the phone. From the door. Oh, come on, it was the phone all along? God damn it, I was hoping we'd, do something more impressive than use a damn phone. Thought it'd be, the doll, or maybe we could use an axe, or find the keys. I look up, unfazed, expectantly almost. The back door to the cabin slowly creaks open. Huh? I like Kento down there. Just the fuck. All of us just stare at it. At that rectangle of darkness now exposed on the other side of the door. Across the room, Genzo hisses between his teeth. Well, shit. Oh, I don't like those noises. Uh-oh. Oh no, what has Box turned into? Oh, I don't like this at all. I really don't like this at all. I think we should have come better prepared.